So it seems a leak of information has hit the internet today from Dime Chalk Reports. Now, Dime Chalk Reports it's a Facebook group that's known for sometimes of accurate leaked information that usually originates from either China or Vietnam, aka the factories. Now, this report is about Transformers Siege toys, so it's a possibility that this list might be a indication of what might be shown at San Diego Comic-Con in the next coming weeks. Now, when I look at this list, it could be one of two things. This could be legitimate 100% because there is stuff on here that sounds like stuff that I've discussed on the podcast in the past out of speculation of two items, and we'll get into it when I get through the list. Or alternatively, it's someone who has listened to the podcast or reads the rhetoric of stuff that's shared online in the forums and then made a list based on that to kind of make it seem more credible. We'll get into that now. So it's obviously, like I said before, it's a list of what should be upcoming Transformers Siege toys. And the first one we got here is Deluxe Cybertron Hotshot. And then the notes next to it is a repaint of Hound, but using an accurate head sculpt. Now, this gets into what we were talking about a couple weeks ago when if you look at the Siege Hound toy and you look at its box art, it has something that looks amazingly like Cybertron Defense Hotshot. And then if you go through, Google or check on YouTube, Transformers Slag podcast about the Hotshot, Cybertron Hotshot, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. We did a little side-by-side in the segment on YouTube. And I mean, yeah, that's one that I saw coming a mile away, and it's something that has existed in the past with Transformers, like I said, where sometimes packaging instructions or even just little like promotional art reveal a figure way ahead than it should, or alternatively puts the wrong head on the wrong mold too early. It's happened in the past, and this is no surprise here. So, I mean, this one just reconfirms that. The second one here, again, something that we discussed already on the podcast as a possibility, it says here, G1 toy colored special package reflector in a special packaging mimics the real-world digital camera box set, including flash, lens, and button pad, includes 3 robots painted to be accurate to their G1 toys. Again, exactly what we talked about on the podcast a couple weeks ago, where there was a piece of art and it showed Reflector's camera mode, but it had these extra stuff on it, the flash bulb, the elongated lens. And I speculated that, well, maybe it's going to, we have show accurate colors with the actual toys. Maybe they'll do the Diaclon Microman, aka G1 toy colors. And lo and behold, and a box set, and it looks like that probably will be the case, assuming this is real and they weren't just listening to our podcast and just making news out of it. Now, here's the new stuff. This is stuff that hasn't been revealed. This is brand new for the first time. So the first one here is a Deluxe Nightbird, repaint of Chromia with accurate new head sculpt, likely Transformers Generation Selects release. Now, this one is interesting because the Chromia mold, I'm assuming they're referring to obviously the Siege one to fit that aesthetic. They're not going to obviously be using the old Generations toy. So I doubt it's that. But that being said, it's like, okay. So we have the Chromia one, and it's like a car of some kind. So they're kind of going like, well, let's see, the Transformer, keep in mind, the character of Nightbird was never transformable. TFCon was the first time we ever TFCon was the first time a third party even Nightbird had something of a transformation, and we just repainted and retooled an RC toy. And the ironic thing was we did that in 2010, and I remember I even worked on the comic for it with Alex Mill and Josh Perez and stuff, and that was just us like throwing stuff at the wall and just going, okay, let's see what happens. And then 5 years later, Sakamoto does the Transformer Legends Nightbird. And what is it? It's a repaint of RC. Uses the same thing. I mean, straight up. And we had that. And that was really like the only major toy outside of there was a Creo for the Earth's Most Wanted. And that was about it. And the trademarking on that, what's even more bizarre is just there is no trademarking. There isn't any at all. And that's the one that really makes me scratch my head a little bit, because either they licensed a new trademark really quietly, or this is fake, because again, you're not going to release a product if it doesn't have a trademark. So it's interesting. Again, if obviously they're going to, they're going to be using the Siege Chromia mold. So you have that Cybertronian not car, not van thingy. So, I mean, assuming there's no like major retooling going on, which is a strong possibility. It says here just repaint of Chromia with accurate new head sculpt, likely Transformers Generation Selects release. So, I don't know. I guess they're going to just take the Chromia and put the ninja head on it. I guess. I guess that's cool, but I'm really curious because, again, if it's just a repaint and it just has the head sculpt, no ninja weapon, no sword, no, katana, no size, no nunchucks, nothing like that. Just a straight up repaint with a new head sculpt. I find that hard to believe. Like it's that one. I think there's a piece of information missing here, or it's fake. Just my take on that. Another one here. This one's interesting and this one's cool. So Deluxe Powerdasher. That's all it says for the name. Repaint of Brunt with accurate new head sculpt, and that's all they say for information. Now, assuming this whole list is real, we then go back to Nightbird and go, maybe Nightbird isn't what her trademark's going to be, because when we look at Powerdasher, it's like Powerdasher is a subcategory of G1 Transformer toy. It's not the name of a character, but it does give us an idea of who this might be. It could be one of 3 characters. So when we're talking Powerdasher, this is referring to the Mailway exclusives of the Powerdashers, which were 3 Diaclon, very simplistic toys that were much more of a lower cost and scale than, say, of its larger brothers from Japan. We had the Powerdasher Jet, we had the Powerdasher Drill, and we had the Powerdasher Car, also referred to as sometimes F1. Diaclon referred to him as Sky Dasher, Drill Dasher, and F1 Dasher. The one that I think it could be based on, if it's using the Brunt mold, and there has to be retooling here, because Brunt's like a treaded tank kind of thing. So I'm going to think that they're going with the Drill Dasher, and we're going to have a drill accessory just like clipped on the front, and then I guess when you take apart Brunt, you could then have like a drill weapon or something. So that's one possibility, and I guess it would be more fun because, again, the whole point is that he attaches to other things. So if he has a drill weapon in the front, it makes it interesting because, Brunt has that cannon, so it's like, okay, so it gives a cannon to whatever character you attach it to, but now if he has a drill accessory, that character will have a drill weapon. So that's where I see it's more fun if they go with that, also because the Drill Dasher kind of had like treads, kind of. It's more tankish than, say, like the Sky or Jet Dasher, which, no, it's not a jet. And Formula 1 Dasher, F1 Dasher, Car Dasher, whatever you want to call it. Same thing, just I don't see it. So I could see it being that one with the drill head. Be kind of cool, assuming it's real. And, I mean, the only thing that I question then is, are they going to call it just Powerdasher? Is that going to be the name moving forward for this Drill Dasher? I know that there is a fictional name for it, and it came from the Italian side of Transformers when they released them through Gig, which was their distributor there in Italy. It was called Zetar, I believe, or Zetar. So I don't know. I think that maybe there's more to that one, and we're just kind of just seeing the early remnants of it. Here's another one here. It says here, Deluxe Decepticon Impactor. It's just a new deco of the same mold. So again, maybe it's just we don't have the official trademark names here yet. Maybe this is supposed to be a brand new character for the line, and they just are using the Impactor mold, and they're going to give it new colors, and they just don't have the trademark here. Maybe that's it. Maybe the leaked information comes from an individual who doesn't know what the name is. They're only messing with the product in hand. Then we have here, this one's really cool. Micromaster 10-pack, which are repaints of original releases, but in a box set. This is really cool. This is reminiscent of the Kmart Minicon box sets that we got, like, oh my God, it feels like 10 years ago now, where we got a whole bunch of brand new Minicons that were repaints of pre-existing molds, but they were all brand new characters. This will be really cool because then you could take all the Micromasters that we've gotten up to this point and then try their best to make other Micromaster characters. And we already discussed this a lot of times already on the podcast, where there's so much meat on the bone, so many characters like Ironworks and stuff like that, because of what we know already of molds that exist, and so the obvious repaints that it could exist from it. So that's really cool. I'm really excited about that one. Again, I'm a big MicroMaster guy, so a 10-pack, I hope it's not like a store exclusive. I really hope that's something that will be easily available in retail, and we'll be able to get a nice big box set. And just like the Kmart ones, I loved even the Kmart ones when they did them for the Classics Universe Generations. When they did those Kmart Minicon box sets, I think one of them was like, I want to say 18 or something. I just remember it had some really cool Minicons in them and some really cool repaints, and I really dug that. And the last one here is Leader Class Shockwave in his Galactic Man deco, but it says here it's going to be a full black Shockwave. So there's a confusion there. So it says Galactic Man deco, but then it says full black Shockwave. Now, the Galactic Man deco, aka Astro Magnum, aka Shackwave, aka the pre-Shockwave, the Korean Shockwave, wasn't all black. It was a dark silver, more of a dark gray, if anything. I have the Astro Magnum version. And the only like differences between, let's say, Astro Magnum, Galactic Man, and say like even there's some bootlegs of them that are even kicking around a little bit, is where normally you'd have the pinkish kind of clear plastic on Shockwave, let's say, what would be on the Galactic Man would be either a gray or sometimes a pink or sometimes a clear, I guess a clear white, if you will, depending on which version we're talking about. But nothing about full black. So it sounds like it says here Galactic Man deco, but then full black Shockwave. So which is it? Because a Galactic Man deco is not a full black Shockwave. I don't know. I'm just reading it straight off of what is written here. I'm going to post it here, and you guys could take a look at it yourself. I'll post the link. But so this is what it is essentially. Some of it we've already discussed in the past, so it seems kind of credible. Some stuff I'm kind of going like, they're going to have to do something with those trademarks for it to be credible. And others, I just hope they're real. I mean, that that MicroMaster 10-pack, I hope that's real, because that's really cool if we get Ironworks and some of the other guys. And the Nightbird is probably the one I'm the least excited about, only because we got a really good one from Legends, and Nightbird is one of those characters that never needed to transform anyways. We just needed a really good character, a good toy of her. And the original RC toy was a really good toy. So the only reason why this, I think, has a benefit is if no one was able to get the Legends figure from Japan when it was available and cheap, because now they're kind of expensive, this being in retail gives people an opportunity to have a Nightbird character, at least, even if it's using the Siege mold of Chromia. I just really hope they give new weapons. That would really be cool. But then again, it's a Generation Selects one, so maybe the budget is there, but it'll also make it a little more difficult for some people to get it, because it won't be in retail if it's for Generation Selects. That kind of sucks. I don't know. Anyways, and getting Powerdashers, that's kind of cool. I mean, hey, Powerdashers, man, if we could get... Those characters have had nothing since the day they debuted, like, what was it, 1985, so that's pretty cool. So let me know what you think about these. Let me know if you think this is real. I mean, so again, we discussed some of these in the past, so there is some validity here. But let me know if you think the rest of this stuff is real. And if it is real, which one are you the most excited about?